now we can see we don't have any contiguous branch left. It is already much easier to understand what the code does. In fact, if you compare it, I'm gonna use the undo button to the initial state. This, as you can see, is the initial state. So you will get a better idea later on when at the end I'll show you from ILDAS the code, the original code and the modified code. But you can evaluate the size already. This is the initial size, and now there's no code left here. As you can see, it's hugely reduced. Okay. Now there's another obfuscation pattern. I won't go into the logic of it, but it sums up to this. We have a conditional branch followed by an unconditional branch. The unconditional branch jumps directly to code which looks sort of like this. There's no reason why this code isn't directly in the position of the branch, or for instance this code. As you can see, just a load of the local variable and then a return. It could be put directly here. So oops. See? There's no reason why this branch is instead of these instructions. So what we're going to do with the next script is remove this sort of logic. Conditional jump followed by a unconditional one. Okay, first one, I'll show you a neat feature. I'm going to tidy up the code. I'm just transferring the current code to the editor. As you see, we don't have any double labels now as we had before. So let's load the script. As you can see, I left some comments to monitor the correctness of the operation. In this case, you can see that these instructions are in fact these instructions. So the script was successful in removing this obfuscation layer. If I compile, you can see that it gives me an error. It says branch offset overflow at line 170. This is because there's a small branch which tries to jump to a location which is too far away for a small branch. I just remove the small part of the branch and leave a normal branch. I could have done this from scripting, but I forgot about it. Okay, now it compiles. We transfer the code to the blocks, and we can see another obfuscation feature. In this case, the obfuscation left is, for instance, this direct branch jumps to these instructions. These instructions can be put instead of the branch. So what we're going to do with the next script is that. Tidy up a bit the code. Okay. As you can see, we have the same kind of comments. If I compile, it gives me another error. This time at line 121. So remove the small branch and compile again. Okay. Now we have a enormously reduced version of the original code. What I'm going to do is save the changes. I just close this interface. He asked me if I want to save the changes. Of course I want. I can now close the application and use rebel.net for creating a modified assembly. Okay, let's have a look at the original code, just to give you an idea of how it looked like. This is the original code. As you can see, it is very hard to follow. And let's look now at the modified code. Again, original, as you can see, very massive, and modified. In theory, it could be possible to make the code decompilable again, but it goes beyond the scope of this video presentation. I just wanted to show you how, by writing scripts in 20 minutes on my netbook, I could, in theory, hugely reduce the obfuscation of a commercial obfuscator, making it, well, not so reliable like people would think they are.